Hi guys, I already wish you guys a happy new year. We're in 2024 and I'm still the same person. My name is Rita and I'm the cooking nurse. In case you're new here, please make sure to join the family. Please don't go away. 79% of my viewers are not subscribed and I wonder why. I would want to know if you don't mind. So today we are going to be pickling some items that I have in my fridge, which includes cucumbers, chayote, munete, sunu, something like that. Whichever you call this vegetable in your language, please make sure to let me know in the comment section how do you call this in your language. And then we are going to be also making some spicy pickled onions. Pickles are a condiment, something you would like. It used to be a preservation method back in the days, dating back thousands and thousands of years back before we even planned of existing. Usually the flavor profile is tangy, zesty, depending on what the brine is. Even the word pickles itself comes from a Dutch word pickle, so it's just a brine where we get vinegar, bringing in the acidity and the saltiness from the salt, and then sometimes sweetness. The flavors can be derived also from herbs like dill, spices like black pepper. You can even add in some spiciness using chilies. So yeah, I love to have this on a random day when there is no animal protein on the plate. Anyways, let's first chop these vegetables and then we get to making the brine. Do let me know which one is your favorite pickle. Let me first introduce to you the jars that we're going to be using to pickle. We are going to be making refrigerator pickles, so they are not like boiled per se. These are going to be quick. I'm one of those people who would put pickles in the morning, go to town, come back and finish all of them in one sitting. So really, it's not going to be a long process. Also, I only have like 3 cucumbers. There's no reason for me to be boiling this. So we have these mason jars that are all-purpose for me. Today we'll find in a smoothie, tomorrow we'll find in pickles. Whatever comes in at that time when it's empty is what goes in. So we have this, but if we are going to cook them, this would be more ideal. So these seals, kind of, you can write even on top what date you put these, because these things, there are places where they are kept for years and years on the shelf and they are safe. So we have these mason jars, and then I'm going to be making some onions in this cute jar. It was a jam jar. Jam jar. In this bottle there was jam. So I'm just going to put pickles. Which is your calling? Please stop throwing away glass bottles. Now you're about to ask, where can I buy that jar? It's recycled. Thank you. And then I also have in here some chilies that I'm going to be putting in there so that they can slowly release some of that capsaicin into my items. Anyways, let's get cutting now and pack our jars. Bulunji, bulunji. Okay, so we are going to start with these cucumbers. You can put them in whole, but because I'm going to slice them into these small quarters, I do not want the tops. I want the whole flesh to be like really, really exposed. So all I have to do is insert them inside this bottle like this, and I'll keep on cutting until all the whole bottle is full. So I'll just keep on putting these in this jar until it's fully full. I know this one can go in, and then I'll eat the other quarter. You have to be sharp, man. So just like this, I'm going to leave some room for black peppercorns, for some garlic to go in, and this jar is good to go. So now we are going to go on and peel the chow chow or the munete. It's quite sappy, so you would want to put on gloves if you do not like your hands to be messy. And when you remove the skin, it kind of gets slippery, so you need to have a firm grip while you're peeling this. This one has been in the fridge for quite a minute, and I did not cover them because I thought I was going to pickle them yesterday. So that's why the skin is not exactly so firm. It's hard to go through a lot, just the same thing she made us go through back in the day. Anyways, so I'm just going to cut this off, and I will go wash it and return it. But first, let's take this to the trash. and wash it off the sap. And then so it's all washed and good to go. We are going to cut it in the middle. Usually it has this heart or the seed. I think these were quite young, so that's why they are not exactly so big and overly grown. And when they overgrow, they tend to regrow. So you find this one is sprouting at that stage. So what I do is just cut out the seed and then cut these ones into small pieces that you can easily pick out with a fork and just enjoy at any time. If you still have trauma that this chick put you through in 2009, if you're from the West that is, please try this recipe. Try pickling munete. It's actually good for your health, I promise. So we'll get our jar again, and then we're just going to put these in. Like this. If it's not full, we'll go on ahead and cut the second part and also fill it up. I want it to be packed. These two are done, cucumbers and chochos or munetes. So we're just going to put these aside and we work on the onions. I know you cannot see my face, but one thing I can promise you for sure is that I am not crying from cutting all these onions. And do not ask me for a tip or tricks or whatever that is, because I do not know any. I'm just most likely putting my face up pretty much. Yeah, so that is it. This downside plays me games, so I don't like dealing with it. So we are going to collect these onions and just put them into the jar. Yeah, like this. There may be many, so I'll have to get maybe a second jar, because these are famous, okay, for me. I like really enjoy them personally. Not my children, not my husband, maybe a few guests. They would enjoy some of these spicy pickled onions. No onion is going to waste. So all of them, okay, these ones go, but the cute one goes in. And there we have our 2 jars of onions ready to pickle. So here we are going to prepare our brine, where I'm going to be using 4 cups of water. And then we will be using 2 cups of distilled white vinegar. And we'll put in a 1/4 cup of sugar and a 1/4 cup of salt. And I'll put in some of the onion scraps. I'll also drop in 2 crushed cloves of garlic, yeah, like you can see that. So we're going to go in and stir the sugar and the salt until everything is mixed. We bring this to a boil and simmer it, and that is going to be our brine. The reason we cook this is so that the salt and vinegar and sugar do not separate and find it has settled at the bottom of the jars, the pickling jars. So we want to mix this properly and bring it to a boil. Also, the reason I added in these onion scraps, they are the clean ones, not the out ones. Also, the garlic still have their skins on, is so that they can release some of this color and some of the aromas deep in, because like I told you, some of these pickles are going to be eaten like way before they ferment properly, and they're going to be refrigerator pickles. So yeah, that's why. But I'm also going to add some of those ingredients like corn, peppercorns and garlic into my cucumbers. So it should do the work. We are trying to extract some flavor. So the sugar and salt have kind of dissolved into the water and vinegar. So we're going to let this boil. So this is how the brine is looking, and as you can see, some of the color has been released into the water, which was clear. So we're just going to go on ahead, transfer this water into our Pyrex jars, and then pour it into our brining or pickling jars with the items. Yeah. When it's full, I'm just going to go in with some of my chilies. I want them to release slowly, slowly. And just like that, that's our first jar. Now we can fill these. And I'll do the same for the chilies. I'll just put in my chilies in the small spaces that remained. You also notice that I am putting them this side down so they can release the heat gently into the liquid as it cools down. Yeah, so I also have these, the chocho. We're also going to pour in the brining liquid until it's full. I am not exactly sure if I want to make these spicy, but let me just put the chili. I also have these shapes of cucumber that I chopped into these shapes. I got 2 jars, so let me just fill all the jars up, and then we can leave these to cool down, cover, and put in the fridge. I'll show you before putting in the fridge. I have added in chili in all of the jars, and I left the onions out. Sometime back, my son saw me taking some onions and he was like, "Mom, can I have some pickles?" And I was like, "No, you cannot, because they are really super spicy." So yeah, I left a jar. So I'm just going to cover these and leave them on here for about an hour before throwing them into the fridge.